Good Tuesday afternoon. It's August 5th, 2025. I'm not going to bury the lead. Lots of action going on this afternoon, including a province-wide fire ban that will be reassessed on September the 7th. And that's because the fire danger is extreme. We've got two fires burning on the Avalon right now. The one near Kingston, estimated to be over 700 hectares in size. The one near Holyrood, I'm not sure of right now, but that's a new fire burning to the southwest of Grand Falls-Windsor, somewhere between Grand Falls-Windsor, Bishop's Falls, south of those two areas, and between there and the Bay d'Espoir Highway. Smoke from that going to be pushed to the south for a while as winds are from the north. The winds are going to swing around overnight, so tomorrow that smoke may get blown back towards central and toward the communities. But for right now, the smoke is not a concern. The fire is, and the Grand Falls-Windsor Fire Department is aware, as is Forestry. And from what I understand from the Grand Falls-Windsor Fire Department, Forestry is going to begin actioning that fire here today. But that's going to be a challenge because obviously we have the two fires burning on the Avalon, one near Kingston, and that burnt up towards Adams Cove last night. The evacuation is now in effect, I think, through Western Bay. That fire is estimated to be over 735 hectares in size. 11 local fire departments are responding appropriately with 100 volunteers on the ground working to protect structures, and that comes from the Town of Small Point, Broad Cove, Blackhead, Adams Cove Facebook page. Uh, Parts of Holyrood are under state of emergency. Parts of CBS are under evacuation orders. Lots of information to manage. Check their respective Facebook pages for all that, and I'll try and get a kind of more organized evacuation post done up on my website, and I'll get that in the app here in a little bit. But I'm trying to get this forecast out for you right now for the time being, and the information as well. Now, satellite imagery not working for us fully for the time being, shows it's very quiet across the province weather-wise. It's going to stay that way, but we are seeing the smoke from the fire that's burning near Kingston kind of work its way down toward the northeast Avalon, or at least it was when we could see it. Can't see the smoke from the fire burning south of Grand Falls-Windsor, at least on this satellite image here. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But as we look at this imagery here, before we lose it, you can see that kind of trail right there to the southeast of Adams Cove, drifting right over the St. John's Metro. That is the smoke from the Adams Cove, or excuse me, Kingston fire. And as the winds have changed direction, that's not as much of an issue now, but it is becoming one in some areas. That photo was sent to me not long ago by Brian Tuck, and that's in Victoria, looking toward the Heart's Content Barren, so looking kind of north, and the air quality there looks to be extremely, extremely poor. And remember, there is an air quality alert in effect through at least tomorrow. That should say August 5th. I apologize. Through tonight and tomorrow for the Avalon North and St. John's and vicinity for poor air quality. If you are pregnant, if you are a child that has asthma or has sensitive lungs, or an individual that has sensitive lungs, you're going to want to stay inside. Turn your air exchanger off. You can leave your mini split on, but turn the air exchanger off because that pulls in air from the outside. Your mini split does not. So something to kind of keep in mind. But if you are sensitive to the particulate matter, and there is a lot in some areas, you're going to want to make sure you stay inside. And maybe if you have some friends or family that live far away from these fires, you can go stay with if the air quality is bad. That may not be a bad idea either. Now, the silver lining today is it is a little bit cooler out there. We're looking at 18 degrees in St. John's. It's 16 degrees in Greats Cove, so it's not as warm as yesterday, and it's also not quite as dry as yesterday. So the fire behavior should not be as extreme as it was even yesterday and last night, especially for the Kingston fire. That being said, it's still very dry, and it's going to only get warmer and drier over the coming days. Wind speeds, they are from the east, northeast, or northeast, or east on the Avalon Peninsula. That is blowing onshore, so blowing that smoke back toward where it came from, back toward the fire area, and kind of inland a bit. So that's why we're seeing some of that smoke now in areas like Carbonear, and likely drifting down toward Harbor Grace, and potentially other areas of the Avalon North as well. And as we go throughout the evening, the wind speeds are going to remain light. Then they pick up again tomorrow, but swing back to the southwest, blowing a lot of that smoke from the Kingston fire back offshore. But tomorrow going to be a little warmer than today and a little drier, so the fire behavior may be a little more extreme once more. Hopefully, the actioning of the fire will kind of at least slow it down a little bit. Now we take a look at the jet stream here. That's those blue lines I have on there with the 500 millibar height for you weather geeks. What you're going to see here is a ridge when you get that kind of bubble that looks like it's going up towards Labrador, the oranges and reds. That settles in over the region late this week and the weekend. That is what's referred to now as a heat dome, and that is going to set us up for some warmer temperatures and very dry conditions even as we look into the weekend. There's like no rain in the forecast. So as we're looking for relief from the fire weather, we are not going to get it. In fact, if anything, we're going to get the opposite as temperatures by Friday and Saturday are going to be as warm as 10 degrees above normal in some areas. If you're looking for the forecast in a little more detail, obviously check the app, but this is your 7-day forecast for the Avalon. Northern areas of the Avalon at that, going to be a little cooler in the south. But you can see there temperatures middle to upper 20s over the weekend and through next week with no more than a 10% chance of rain. For central, it is very similar, if not warmer. Upper 20s, lower 30s through next week. For western Newfoundland, same thing, mid to upper 20s through next week. No more than a 20% chance of rain on Sunday for western areas, and even in the south coast of Newfoundland. And the northern peninsula would be similar. We're looking at low 20s, very dry conditions, hardly any fog even. Very, very rare for no fog and temperatures that warm this time of year in that part of the province. And averaging Labrador, we'll look at Goose Bay, for instance, temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s all the way through next Tuesday. So it's going to remain very warm and very dry. We need to heed the fire ban and be very, very cautious out in the wilderness and the woods while hiking, camping, doing whatever. Any little spark right now could cause a new fire, and resources are only going to be stretched thinner as we get more fires to pop up. And my hope is we don't. My fear is we do. If you want to get the forecast for your area in more detail or get all my latest updates, please get my app in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Excuse me. Sheer Weather app. SHEERR, and you can also find the quick links on my website, sheerweather.ca. Have a very good Tuesday evening. Stay safe, and I'll post more details as they become available this afternoon and this evening.